Hello and welcome back to Bad Moms in Business, the podcast. My name is Bridgette Robertson.
I'm Amanda Sharp.
I'm Danielle Monahan.
Today, we are talking about social media marketing for your business, specifically TikTok. And so we'll get into that a little bit here. But how are you guys doing? How was your week?
Good. A little stressed, but it's fine. I'm getting there. How about you?
I have no complaints.
Good.
Well, let me start a list of mine. No, I'm just kidding. We could probably land ourselves in a clubhouse room and talk about your stress, Danielle.
So good.
We are talking about social media.
I know we talked about
Clubhouse.
Yeah, I know we talked about Clubhouse last week, but
we did, but
love it so much.
I have 3 invites if anyone needs them.
I have one left.
I don't have any left, but I feel like you guys might have gotten more than me because you guys have been in there a little bit more than I have the last couple days.
I found out the scoop on this, guys.
Oh,
you're active in there enough. I don't know what enough is as far as their criteria goes, but they release them every Tuesday in sets of 3. So you get 3 invites every Tuesday, depending on how much engagement and interaction and stuff.
I wonder if I have any. Should I look live on the podcast?
You can. If somebody already in your friends list creates a saves their handle,
username, yep,
yes, and kind of gets put on the wait list, you can walk them in without actually using one of your invites, and you can do that at any time if you're active enough.
I've probably brought about 20 something people in, if that speaks to the volume.
I've brought in maybe like 7, 8.
And I have 3 new invites.
So I invited someone with my first invite, and then I got 3 more.
Mm-hmm.
But that's it. Like, I haven't walked anybody in. I don't even know what that means.
I don't entirely know what that means either. But basically, when I've done it, it just means somebody in your contacts list is saved their spot in line, reserved their wait list, and you can just go in and kind of claim them.
Yep.
Basically.
And you
so
get a
I think what that means is the people who I have saved in my contact list are not interested in
Clubhouse. They all have Samsung.
I even put it on Facebook, like saying, "Hey, I have invites. Who wants?" Like 5 people came forward. The end.
It makes it hard though, because it is iPhone only.
Mm-hmm.
So like Chris wanted an invite, and I'm not kidding you guys. He's had an Android for 5 or more years, and just a couple nights ago he was like, maybe I need to go back to an iPhone.
So
for this app, I need to get an iPhone.
I cannot even tell you how much I'm digesting the marketing behind Clubhouse, because I feel like those who want to learn from it can learn so much from it, and the exclusive nature of it, not just by invitation, but the actual platform you're allowed to utilize it off of, or the tool, I think is just crazy. And one guy, he was a moderator in a group that I was in, and he said, I'm almost to the point where I'm going to get another phone. Because he has to be able to work, but he doesn't want to get off of the platform as well.
Wow.
I was in a room the other day, and the host, there was only one host, one mod, that was it. And I clicked on his profile, and he said, I am one of the few that's here that does not have an iPhone. That is what his little description said under his picture. And I was like, what does that mean? So I don't know. Maybe they are starting to branch out. That's probably a goal of theirs in 2021 is to branch out into the Android world.
Beta testing for now, the Android world.
Maybe.
Interesting. Or he's lying and he just has an iPad that he's using it from, or something like that.
I wondered that as well.
Yeah. Very.
Oh my gosh, I didn't
even
think about that. So that guy doesn't need a new phone. He can just use like his iPad or something, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, true. But he was using that analogy to express his love.
How much he was using it.
Yeah.
I get it.
I hate to consume our time with it, but I'm just so fascinated by it, and I'm learning so much.
It almost makes me frustrated with other apps now, because inside Clubhouse, you can leave the app and still be listening to it, just like you can
it tethers,
a podcast or something. And now when I get on YouTube or Facebook or anything, and I'm watching another video or listening to something there, and I leave the app, I'm like, oh, I can't listen to it anymore. Like, it's so frustrating.
They basically made that the podcasting platform that you can actually engage with, but do other things at the same time. And that's why when I say I'm on it that long, it's not like I'm in it that long.
Sure.
I'm listening. I'm doing dishes, laundry, 1,000 pages of Spanish.
No bueno.
Oh, you ain't a kid. So I'm not gonna talk about needing a clubhouse room for this therapy. Friday is Owen's last day with it, and he was only at 30-something% as of like Sunday.
Oh.
We're up to 50-something%. That's our last class that we did because it's our least favorite. But I sent a message to his principal. I was like, so let's discuss a hypothetical. If he doesn't get 80% or more completion,
oh no.
will that average his score out as 0 compared to the B+ and just average out to like maybe a C or D-, like D+? Like, what are we talking about? Like, what's the threat level?
Oh my gosh.
And I started with, hopefully this is the last Spanish email I will have to send to you this semester because it ends on Friday. Like,
oh my gosh.
Too much.
Spanish is hard.
They must hate me.
A foreign language is tough. I took 2 years in high school of Spanish and then 2 semesters in college, and it is no joke. And I also remember none of it.
I took it for 2 or 3 years in high school, and I have very, very little left.
I'm going to allow for judgment on this with what I'm about to say.
Okay.
Oh,
and our viewers can judge me for it too because I've got strong shoulders and I didn't follow through with it. But I thought really long and hard yesterday about making a Facebook post offering $200 for someone to complete the course.
Oh, Amanda.
You know how I feel about that.
I know. In part, like there was a Bridgette right here saying, Amanda, if you post that on social media, you're going to get it from Bridgette. She's going to slap you. So we're plugging through it on our own. But man, wouldn't that have been a whole lot easier? Just pay some $200. Yeah. I mean, that's what you do in the real world. You don't want to do a job, you pay someone to do it. I mean, I'm not wrong there.
So
TikTok.
Sorry, guys. Sorry.
Dial that back, huh? All right. So Amanda is our regular TikTok expert here. So let's get into it because Bridgette, you just did your first TikTok. Did you not?
I did.
This is huge, guys.
Yeah.
This is huge. I have not. I haven't taken the plunge yet. I'm gonna. But I'm ready to learn from Amanda. So
yes.
Teach us.
Well, I love, and Bridgette, you did your first TikTok because you were challenged by somebody to do one, and that got you doing it. And you didn't just do one; you've now done 2.
Yeah.
One being a duet, that was quite a adventure for you to go on for your second.
That's what I thought too. That's hard, right?
It's hitting a button, but
okay.
Regardless, it's not
that hard.
Yeah,
most people are intimidated by it, though.
Yeah.
Well, and as you know, the second I posted it, I was like, oh, I didn't use any hashtags or tag anything. So, and you can't edit. So
what we're saying is to go to Bridgette's TikTok, make sure you go watch that video, go give it a like or a thumbs up or whatever the TikTok link is, because that's how little I know about it.
I love it.
I don't know anything.
I will say you will oftentimes see a person reuse their content because they couldn't edit it and they wanted to edit it. So if they saved that video to their phone or uploaded it again as a new video so they could do their hashtagging, or because some people just don't even put like a description or anything.
That's exactly what mine is.
But at least it was a duet, so it allowed it to get some traction from the person that you duetted with.
I got like 2 likes on it, so that's not nothing.
For a beginning TikToker, that's quite remarkable.
Oh, well, thank you very much.
So why don't we start with why TikTok? Because that's been my biggest question this whole time is why should I even bother doing it? I'm old. I'm one of those old people on TikTok. It's like, why? Why should I do it?
Well, for me, it was therapy because it was COVID and I needed something else to do. It was something fun and interesting. And it wasn't until we were brainstorming for podcast ideas and stuff that I decided, as we were talking about our social media platforms, doing some not courses, but episodes on that, to take it seriously, kind of using it more for a business platform. So I started as just a recreational user for fun. And I still am because I have fun doing it. But I tried to be more purposeful to see how the analytics would change. And they didn't change, honestly, that much. I like your at the same time.
Well, because I think it's interesting because I think for me, and we'll talk about this at a later date, but for me, Facebook is really where I try and capitalize. And I understand Facebook. That's where my people hang out. So that's why I'm there. So how did you decide that TikTok is where you wanted to try and branch out? And two parts. How did you decide that you wanted to use TikTok? And did you just jump in and start creating content, or did you research first?
That's a great question. So I, like everything for our viewers who know me, typically just jump right in.
Mm-hmm.
I did a video before I even understood TikTok because I wanted to understand how to do a video. So when the opportunity arose, I was ready to go. So that would be my number one thing. Like, play around with it. Even if you don't publish your video, you can save it at a draft or you can get rid of it. At least play around with it so you get familiar with the process of how to even do a TikTok. So for me, like Bridgette, I think you're wanting to stay in Facebook kind of because that's where your people are. I think that's very wise. And I also am doing that too. I just wanted to add another branch, another way to reach the people that I didn't already know on my Facebook and even Instagram.
I think that's interesting too, because I don't know about you guys. A lot of my sphere on Facebook they've been leaving Facebook for one reason or another. And they've been
super fair
venturing
point
into these other ones. And that's the only place that you can find them is on TikTok, on Instagram, things like that. So I think that's really interesting that you're trying to broaden the horizon a little bit.
And I heard something a long time ago, and I think this is very wise for anyone who's using any platform for your business, is if that platform disappeared, how big of your clientele would be gone? Would you have their phone number? Would you have their email address? And I think we take for granted because, I mean, that is directly how I contact my sphere. My past clients, I mean, they become friends and family. And so if Facebook were to go away, I think all three of us would be in trouble.
For sure.
I think
1,000%.
most business owners at this point would be in trouble. And I think we've seen, like as Danielle, as you were saying, a lot of people are leaving Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. I don't know if people are leaving Instagram like they are leaving some of the other ones. But that is something that's always top of my mind. So that's where I would encourage everyone to have like a hub, like their main hub. And their main hub often is suggested that it goes back to like their website.
Yeah. Email.
Everything directs things because the internet would have to go down for somebody not to be able to find you at that point. So it's very interesting.
That hit home a little bit. That one scared me a bit.
I hope it scared a lot of people.
I feel like a lot of business owners, you know, we do what we know how to do best, right? Because you don't want to take on every platform because then you'll just be kind of mediocre at best at all of these different platforms. But when you have these main ones that you focus on, if those were to disappear, that kind of blew my mind a little bit.
And we put our blood, sweat, and tears into the ones that we know, like, and trust.
Yes.
And I mean, it's the same platform that people use us for. They're using us because they know they can trust us. So if we were to go away, our clients would be saying, oh my gosh, now what do I do? So it's the same concept.
I dig it.
And I think too, you have to consider what your business is.
Of course.
If you're so for example, here where I'm sitting across the street is a very popular boutique store in downtown Trenton, all about Grace. I'll give them some promotion.
Oh, I love that name.
It's great. And it's got a great story behind it, but they're directly across the street. I can see them and they do a ton of business and they advertise on Facebook. And so for them, if Facebook were to go away, I think they probably have enough loyal customers that it wouldn't matter.
They would have enough like foot traffic, basically.
I think so. But for a lot of people, the three of us included, you're right. If social media goes away, we would have to completely revamp our business.
Well, and I think it kind of depends on, it's what you were saying, but it kind of depends on what it is that the business that you're in, like, what are you selling? Are you selling an actual product like in a store, brick and mortar, or is it something that's more virtual, like an e-course or something like that? We're doing something a little bit different even than that.
Or you possibly are your product yourself.
Right. Exactly. Like coaching.
So, yes. Yeah. So it's very, and obviously each type of business has a different funnel they want to go down to. If you're doing courses, I'm sure your email list needs to be spot on. You know, there's certain things where I don't know that our email list in our business is as strong as it was needed, you know, in the past.
Yeah.
And so I guess I looked at TikTok as an opportunity just to develop a platform just as one extra, you know, cushion if Facebook were to fall.
I like that.
Fall. Because I never want to be caught completely off guard. I at least want to have something. So, and I'm very creative, very, very creative. So
Yes,
TikTok has allowed me to kind of allow my creativeness or conversations to come out a little bit more than Facebook has potentially, and maybe Instagram. So I have kind of found a little bit of a place on TikTok. But I mean, I'm not the expert by any stretch of the imagination because I'm still feeling it out. And
you are our expert.
well,
Yes.
thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. But I think it goes into understanding what results you want out of it. And my result, of course, I want to be viral and have like 1 million followers. Who doesn't? But realistically,
That's the goal.
That's the goal. But realistically, very few TikTokers get to that status.
Right.
So I just want to keep relevant is the word that I'll use.
So how do you determine what you talk about? So are you just talking about your business? Are you niching down? Like I hear these phrases all over the place. How would you pick what your content is on TikTok?
I think it is very important to understand your objective on TikTok. And it took me a while to nail that. So for me, my objective wasn't my business. My objective was people to get to know, like, and trust me. For the people who don't already know, like, and trust me, just feel comfortable with me. So that way, if I randomly did do a business TikTok, they're going to feel comfortable listening to me talk about that business or ask, as opposed to just being a brand new TikToker that's constantly like, hey, you want this, you want this, you want that. I'm hopefully giving them some inspiration, giving them a taste of my personality. So again, when I do have an ask, they'll be receptive to it and not unfollow me.
That's a solid answer.
I agree.
Thank you for thinking.
So, I know that you did a little bit of research on the algorithms, right? And how all of that works. Did that change your content or change your upload schedule or anything along those lines?
That's a great question. So I want to be very clear. I jumped into TikTok as a beginner. And then I became very intentional with it. And that's when I started doing the research when we decided to kind of make this an episode.
Yeah.
So even though I jumped into it, I did do some research down the road. And what's very interesting about TikTok is no one can truly understand the actual algorithm behind it.
Oh,
interesting.
The experts out there hope that they know and are saying it truthfully. But if you truly try to find anyone who is like saying this is how it works, I think they're absolutely lying.
Interesting.
So, and the thing is, because you can't predict human nature, human behavior. We don't know. The mood of society might make one video that wouldn't have been viral a week ago viral.
I see.
Doesn't matter what hashtag you use, what your topic is. A lot of it is just alignment and luck.
I think my biggest beef with TikTok is that it's like just a bunch of people copying off of each other ad nauseum until the next cool thing happens and they all copy off each other. I don't know if you guys or our listeners please tell me if you've seen this. If you haven't, you gotta find it. The guy who sings about internet drama. Have you seen this guy?
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. We gotta link it. Helen's Thin Lips.
Keep your name
off your thin lips.
And then she talks about, it's hilarious.
What
and then
did Helen do? She stole my broccoli
casserole recipe
8 years ago. Oh,
I can't be the only one confused here. I cannot be the only one confused, right?
5 million views, Danielle. 5 million views.
Well,
where are my people at? Because I don't understand what's going on.
He's done this 3 times now. 3 times. The first one was about he just takes random internet conversations that are silly and turns them into music, and it's amazing. So the first one was like a Facebook marketplace back and forth, and he was like, hello, is this available? And the person said, yes, it is. And then he sent another message and they were like, we're sleeping, leave us alone.
What?
And he's like, but you reached out to me, and it's like, we're no longer interested. It's hilarious. Oh my God.
We will link it for those of you that don't know what we're talking about.
I feel like his name's Lupin or something like that.
Something like that.
Something with an L.
Yeah.
And I totally did it backwards for those.
Lupin.
I did it right.
But he just released his 3rd one, I think. So today's Tuesday. I think he released his 3rd one like Sunday or Monday. They're brilliant. So we'll link it. But so he was original in that, right? Like he created this original content, but now all these people are jumping on his bandwagon, or like riding his coattails, I should say.
So here's my thoughts. Yeah. I disagree with you on that, because not all of us are very clever.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it's a as long as you give that person credit.
Sure.
I think I'm all for it. If you know who started it. Obviously, there are certain dance ones that I'm like, who was the original person to create like that Savage song? I don't know. Did people even do that one anymore? I don't know. Like
Savage. Like I know. I know. Like my world, I walk around saying TikTok.
A little dance with it.
So sorry.
So as long as you're giving the person credit, I feel like it's it's nice.
Super fair point. And I do have to say, TikTok, the way that they designed it is when you click to use that sound, it's very clear who the original user was.
I did not know that.
Of it. So they do get credit for that sound, which will go back to them. So it's kind of like good publicity. The more people who do something with it, the more chances are there to be discovered. And he is talented. He is very talented.
He is.
I'm excited to see it.
The dances and stuff. But this is the thing. There's a whole lot of rooms on TikTok. There's the dancing rooms. There's the singing rooms. There's the knowledgeable rooms. There's the therapy rooms. There's the self-help rooms. There's a lot on TikTok. So just because you're going, I would never dance, we don't have to dance.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's interesting. And you know what? You're right, Danielle. I guess that would be, as the creator of that, it would be kind of cool to see people take it and turn it, because the broccoli casserole one, people are doing like dramatic reenactments of it, and
fantastic.
They're so good. And that kind of stuff I'm into, but like the dancing stuff, I'm like, how many times can I see a girl shake her butt? Like I'm over. Yeah. Scroll.
I like the spoof ones where it's like they have all of these hot girls doing these dances, and then it's just like somebody super average who can't do that dance move, and then they try to recreate it. I'm like, yes, that's me. That's what I want right there in my life.
For sure.
And that's the thing. Like, there's all these different types of movies. There's all sorts of different books. So that's how much is on TikTok. There's all sorts of different stuff on TikTok. So anyone can find a place there. It's a matter of how you want to use it for your business, if you want to use it for your business. Going back to your question about the madness behind it for what I did, I kind of tried to find not a niche, but something I could commit to, because I was going to post starting December 1. I posted daily for the whole month, with the exception, I think, of Christmas Eve or something like that, because we had a beautiful white Christmas here and I did 2 videos on that. But I developed Coffee Conversation with Amanda.
Mm-hmm.
And that allowed for me to constantly have a content, because it could have been about, check out my cool cup. This is my new microphone. Here's a fun quote I heard. So it gave me unlimited possibilities to adhere to a content commitment, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. And I feel like that's very your personality. That's your style. That's your brand, is something like that. As opposed to if you started doing dance ones, I think a lot of people would be like, what?
She's losing her mind. I did do one dance one to be funny, and it was terrible, and it was funny. So it was good therapy because we laughed, and it was just fun. I was not twerking.
Did anybody else find that hilarious that she said that?
I'm appalled. I'm going to have to watch myself back because I'm pretty sure my eyes were closed and I have no idea what I looked like. But I felt disgusted when I used that word.
But I think that's important to remember, is to be yourself on there. I think that's part of my hesitation, because what am I going to do on there? Go on there and like be sarcastic about what? Go on there and be silly about what?
Yeah,
like,
I don't know.
I don't know. So it's hard for me. The one I did yesterday, first of all, where are my emo kids at?
Right here, baby. Right here.
I'm old.
I mean, I dare you to hear a video with Taking Back Sunday and not duets. That's a TikTok term, guys.
It is.
and recreate that video. I dare you to not do it. You can't. There was no way I couldn't.
No.
So that was fun. But to come up with original content, and I think that's what stopped me, because like I said a few minutes ago, I hate that it's like the same stuff over and over and over and over again until something else is cool. And I just don't want to do that. I don't know.
It's hard to find your own voice in such a crowded space.
Yeah.
And I think it's not hard once you find your voice, though. So once you find your voice, the rest will fall into place.
Can mine just
be afraid to show your voice?
So are you saying I should just lip sync emo songs from the early 2000s every day?
You could be the lip syncing realtor.
I would follow you.
I will follow you. Follow you wherever. We should all three do a I will follow you, and we can duet.
Oh my gosh, that would be hilarious.
The possibilities are endless. And
nobody wants to hear me saying no.
I feel like anytime you talk to anyone in any social media platform, you have to have a niche. I'm so sick of hearing that. So over it. If you build it, they will come.
Well, and I would argue that in TikTok, it's almost impossible to have one. That's not true. It is possible to have one, but you run out of content very quickly. So you either need to repurpose that content, or you need to fill it in with silly stuff. Here's my garden. Here's my dog, whatever. And then the next day, maybe you pick up your niche. And I think, I don't know, I'm just so intimidated by it. And I'm sure that I'm not alone. I know Danielle is too.
I'm so intimidated by it.
Let me ask you both, Bridgette, what are you intimidated about it? If I said that correctly.
You know, my biggest thing, and you guys know this about me, our listeners may or may not, but I am not tech savvy at all.
You learned a duet, girl. Don't downplay your ability.
But you know what I mean? Like, listeners, the awesome graphics that you see and the awesome, like, you should go check out our YouTube, because Danielle did new thumbnails for all of our videos, and they are so beautiful. It's disgusting how beautiful they are. But all of the stuff that you are seeing and the editing and all of the stuff, that's Amanda and Danielle. I have nothing to do with that. I show up on Tuesday and wash my hands of it.
She's downplaying herself, folks. But
I'm not technologically savvy. And so when I'm watching TikTok and I'm seeing all of these videos with like edits and cuts and different filters that pop in and out and words coming up on this, I'm just like, I don't know how to do that. It freaks me out. And nobody wants to just like listen to me talk.
I did a TikTok the other day, ladies, and I shared this quote with you. And I believe it with every inch of me now that I know it. If you're not a little embarrassed about the first thing you've put out, you started too late.
That's true.
Like, and it's so true, because if you wait for perfection, you're never going to do it. Danielle, yep, you can raise it higher, sweet thing.
Yeah, that's why I don't do things. That's why I don't jump on the bandwagon of anything, is because I demand perfection out of myself and I don't know what I'm doing.
But let's talk about, for example, our thumbnails for YouTube and stuff, such like that.
Mhm.
We started with this. We
Yes.
upgraded. We gave it a facelift. Like, wow, it's amazing.
But if
What we started with wasn't terrible, but now like it's wow. So like you're going to grow within that platform when you find your voice.
But this is why it's so good that there is the three of us, because you guys pull that out of me. If it was just me doing this podcast all by my lonesome, I wouldn't have started. I wouldn't have posted anything until I had the other stuff, because that's just who I am.
Well, and I know it's hard to
terrible.
do right now, but I just love Clubhouse because it's where we're hearing other people.
Yeah.
And, you know, we hear people in the podcasting rooms that they're in their own way to even start.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes me so sad because their message is not being heard. And more than likely, that message is phenomenal. But they're doing the Danielle thing that their ducks are not in a row. So therefore, I cannot start. And so it saddens me because I really feel like everyone has a voice, a story to share. And if it's not getting told, it makes me sad. And your story on TikTok can be just as powerful. You know, if we did an hour-long tapings of TikToks, that would be 61-minute videos. Wow. Think of how much content.
That's interesting. So your ultimate advice for anybody, including myself, and I'm going to work on it.
Just do it.
Just to start.
Just to start.
If you were to pick one thing to give us advice on with TikTok today, it's just do it. Just start.
Just start and have fun. And if you're having fun and being who you are, the right people, you're going to land on the right people's pages.
Okay, people.
Forget about the hashtags. Forget about, you know, the perfect editing. Just do it.
Sorry if you just heard my Google go off for no apparent reason. But everybody who is listening and watching right now, hello. I, Danielle Monahan,
she's committing.
Will be doing my first TikTok. I don't know when. I gotta, make time for it and stuff and actually figure out what I'm gonna do. But I will do a TikTok.
All right.
And post it in the group.
Yes. Oh, I'm nervous.
Danielle, I think your biggest problem and many of our listeners' problems, and listeners, let us know if you agree. I think a lot of people are just super reserved in their feelings.
Yes.
And TikTok is, I think, an expression of your feelings. So I do think that a personality like yours is going to have a harder time putting yourself in the front seat of TikTok and expressing yourself.
That's something I've been working on for probably like the last half of the year, in 2020, is really trying to be more authentic online. And not that I was not being that way. It was just, I'm a very private person.
Absolutely.
So I compartmentalize my life into, okay, this is business. I'm posting business things on Instagram, on Twitter, on Facebook. And then I forget to post the personal stuff because I am so private and reserved. So I'm working on that. So yes, I will do it. It's going to go out there. She nervous. She real nervous.
I do have to say, I do believe you can reserve a portion of your personality and be very reserved and private still, but still allow a little bit of your fun Danielle that we have been privileged to know out a little bit.
You know what I would love to see out of Danielle's TikTok?
What?
Let's hear it.
Okay, Danielle, I'm sure you know this. You know this. You've been on there. You could play like Metallica or Rob Zombie or something and you better get out that black eyeliner and straighten your hair as straight as it goes.
This is what I'm talking about
And
right
put
here.
on the choker, and then just stare into the camera and let Rob Zombie talk. And you're just like,
Talk to your soul.
Everybody who's watching this or listening to this right now is like, what?
no, they are.
Danielle does what?
So Danielle, you know how you did that reel on Instagram where you were in your cute little pajamas,
Yeah.
which is your
Don't give away trade
clubhouse.
secrets. Don't give away trade secrets. I think I know.
But you know where I'm going with this.
I know where you're going with
Okay.
this.
So that is what
it.
I would challenge you to do as your first TikTok. And I guarantee you,
I think that's genius.
you will get more views on that one TikTok than all of my coffee conversations for the month of December.
Oh, well, that's too much pressure. Y'all are putting way too much
It's
pressure.
not too much pressure.
Yeah.
I guarantee Bridgette would agree.
Yeah, I do.
That's virality. Me talking about my coffee cup. It's Amanda. That's
gold. I think that would be so fun, and it wouldn't require you to talk.
That's true.
Yes, so
I like
true.
that. I like that aspect a lot.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, let's button it up because we want to. Let's debut this without giving away exactly what we're talking about, but we're all on the same page.
We got this. We got this.
Oh my gosh.
So,
And one thing I would add, this would be like my personal final tip, and of course we can talk about anything else about TikTok that you guys want to ask me, is I would develop a hashtag for yourself. So when
Writing that down,
they can just click on that and it'll funnel to all of your other videos, because we want them to engage in your other videos as well. So that would be, I don't care if it's a really random hashtag, as long as it's yours.
Perfect. So I guess in closing, I want to know from our listeners who is using TikTok already.
yes.
Have you had a video go viral, which I know sounds insane, but a member of our family here had a viral video without even trying. Danielle?
It's true. So no, I've never been on TikTok before. I don't know what I'm doing. My husband posts occasionally just stuff of like our son on there, and one of our son's videos went viral on there. His pants had fallen down and he told us that his pants fell down, and I wouldn't say it went viral. It went like semi-viral. I don't know like what's the cutoff, but it got like 130,000 views on it and stuff. So I mean, that's
something.
Rule of thumb is the viral is like millions, right?
That's what I would assume.
Viral is basically if it's like anywhere from 5 to 10 times your following,
which that definitely was.
And beyond that has made your video viral in the nature of your channel.
Mm-hmm.
So that was absolutely a viral.
Yeah, we were super surprised about that. I mean, it hit, 5,000 views and we're like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. And then all of a sudden it was like 10,000 in an hour. And we're like, oh my gosh, what's going on? And it just continued to go from there.
Yeah,
crazy.
So it's not as hard as you would think, apparently, to go viral. Air quotes I use there. So I'm just curious from our listeners, who's already using TikTok, whether it's personally or for their business. Have you had a video that kind of blew up? That's what the kids say. And if you don't, or you've been thinking about it, have we convinced you to try?
Yeah.
Those are my questions.
And I have a last tip here, which is if I am going to be posting my first TikTok and I'm going to be posting it in our group, that means you have to go to our Bad Moms in Business VIP group, get in there, because that's the only place that it's going to be.
Yes, I agree. We save some of the good stuff for our VIPs. So make sure that you just go to Facebook and type in Bad Moms in Business VIP group and request to join, and we will add you.
Mm-hmm. Anybody can join.
Even boys.
Even boys.
Absolutely. Some of our best supporters are men.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I'm grateful for all of our supporters.
Me too.
Me too. Do we have anything to close? What is our Be
You?
I like it. I like it. I like it. Be you.
Be you. Find your voice. Put it out there.
I like it.
Gonna work on it.
Unless, I guess I want to throw a disclaimer out there because I
Uh-oh.
feel really bad if somebody got fired. I'm so sorry, you guys.
Mm.
Keep in mind, each job has certain rules about TikToking for your business or even as your own individual
Great
self.
point.
Yeah.
So be mindful that can be damaging to your career if it's
Correct.
I do
Correct. If you're a Nazi sympathizer, perhaps don't put that
you
on.
went right for a big thing. Like
Yeah.
I would have been a little bit more delicate, but you get the point.
That on the down low.
Yeah. Because free speech is free speech until it hurts someone, and then there's repercussions. So be yourself, but
With an
within
asterisk.
the limits of reasonability.
Mhm.
Absolutely. Be yourself when it's appropriate.
Oh man,
That might sound restrictive and a little bit of an oxymoron compared to what we were talking about, but you get my point.
Yep.
Anyway, well, thank you guys so much for listening. I hope that we encouraged you to try a new platform this week. And we can't wait to hear about your TikTok experiences thus far. Have a phenomenal week, and we will see you next Thursday.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.